Now, I want you guys to stick around for this video because I feel like what I will say will influence what you think about Ruben Amorim. Um, Yesterday he had the worst loss in United's history. They've never lost to a fourth-tier team before, which I feel is pretty embarrassing, to be honest. I mean, looking at the amount of money that they spent and all, there's no reason why that game should have gone to penalty. They should have ended it, during the first 90 minutes, even during first half. Because I mean, it's a fourth-tier team. I mean, you are playing Cunha and Sesko and the rest. You should be scoring goals. You should be scoring about 6, 7 and all. So why? What happened with that? Let's talk about it, right? So Ruben Amorim has been in Sporting, I think, for a long time. Since 2020, he came to Sporting, and he's been there for 4 years. I think 2021 or so, that's when he went to Sporting, and he's been there for 4 years. So he's been a manager out there for a very long time, and he's a manager that we know to not be. He doesn't change his tactics. He's not a flexible manager. He's always played, the 3-4-2-1 formation. That's what he started with at Sporting, and that's how he ended. And even the players that he had in his predecessor, the coach that was there before he came, Emmanuel Ferro or so, he also played that formation, the 3-4-2-1 formation. So I feel like he had players that could play that formation before he came, so it was a bit easier for him. But then the players he started with were different from the players he ended with. If you look at the formation that he was playing, like the players he was fielding when he came, you see that there's a very big difference between that and those that he ended with. Sure, you could say that they sold Sam because they needed money and all, but then he's been there for 4 years. He knows that, okay, this player can suit what I want to play. This player doesn't suit it. So he would get players that suits what he wants, because he got Gyökeres. Gyökeres wasn't there before he came. He got Gyökeres. He got a couple other players. So he knows what he wants. If you get him what he wants, there's a very good chance that he will deliver for you, because he delivered at Sporting. They were winning trophies, even doing very, very well in the Champions League before he left and they crashed out. They won Manchester City and all. So they were not a bad team. So what really happened in the Grimsby Town game? First of all, I'm in no way absolving him of any blame, because you didn't field Onana since, I think there was a preseason game against this Asian team or something. That's the last time Onana played, and that was in May. But before that, the last time he played an official, important game was against Tottenham in the Europa League. So since then, you haven't fielded him in a game, in an important game. Then 3 months after, you come and field him in an official game. Definitely, he'll be a little rusty. I don't know how he was training though. I don't know if he was made to train, with the under 21s, or because usually when a team is trying to push a player out, they make them train separately. So I don't know if he was training separately. I can't speak on that. But then he hasn't had the official game. He wasn't in part of preseason. So he didn't have a preseason, and you just throw him in this game. Definitely he'll be a little rusty. Granted, Onana has been a little bit brain dead since last season. This is not the first time he's messing up. But then I feel like if he had been, playing more games, some of the mistakes he caused, he wouldn't have made it, because it's like when you've been doing things for a long time, you get this kind of, yeah, used to it. I don't know if I get what I'm saying. So I feel like some of the mistakes he made yesterday could have been avoided if he had been playing, or if he had had a preseason and all, it could have been avoided. So you don't just throw him in like that and expect him not to be rusty. It doesn't make sense. Even there are players that when they go on bans and they are back, you give them time to get into the game, to get to match fitness and all before you put them in. That's why some teams didn't want to sign Paul Pogba, because he had been out for a very long time. Same with Ivan Toney and all. You don't just put them in like that. You wait a little bit, let them make sure they're ready for a game before you put them in. So I blame him for putting Onana in that game like that. So that was what happened. You don't give him game time, you just throw him in. It's bound to happen. That's what happened. So that is on him. Secondly, let's talk about how Onana's formation works. Amorim's formation works, because how he plays is also a very big factor. As I said, he doesn't change how he plays. He's not flexible. This is how I want you to play that way. So he plays 3-4-2-1, as I've said earlier. He needs a ball playing centre back. Sorry, 3 ball playing centre backs. The 3 centre backs are supposed to be like good with their feet. The goalkeeper is also supposed to be good with his feet. The wing backs, the left wing back is mostly for crossing from deep and all. The right wing back is used for attack. He also helps with weight and all. He has the license to move forward more, and that's why it made sense in the beginning where Amad Diallo was playing there, because it's kind of like, yeah, playing as a winger. Then two midfielders. The defensive midfielder is supposed to be a destroyer. He's not supposed to be really good with his feet or anything. He's not supposed to be like talented with his feet or anything. Just win the ball and pass it and like circulate it. That's his job. That he's just supposed to be a ball winner. But the other one who plays with the DM is more as a number 8, like a box to box. That's how that midfielder is supposed to be. He's a box to box. And that is why people are wondering why he's playing Bruno Fernandes in that position, because Bruno Fernandes is a creator. The striker is supposed to, be able to do link up play, supposed to be physical, like your normal striker. So Sesko is good for that. Attacking midfielders, the left AM is supposed to be the chance creator. In Sporting, he had Pedro Goncalves as his attacking midfielder, who is very good at chance creation and all. That is what the left AM is supposed to be. That's why I was wondering why he's playing Matheus Cunha there, because Matheus Cunha is not a chance creator. He's good at scoring goals. He may give assists and all, but he is not like your traditional chance creator. So I'm wondering, where are you expecting the chance creation to come from? You want it to come from Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno Fernandes has to stay behind and help with the midfield, or the midfield will be easily overrun. Playing a two-man midfield is very dangerous, because most teams often come with 3 midfielders, and if you're not careful, the midfield will be overrun. So he has to stay behind and help Casemiro out. Since Casemiro is washed, he can't run anymore. His legs are finished. Ugarte is also not good, he's not really good at that. I mean, people call him Ugarbage for a reason, he's not so good. So it makes sense why Bruno Fernandes will be in deep more, because you are putting him in that position. He can't really come out and expose the team like that, especially when the team is defensively vulnerable. So you're giving Cunha the role of chance creation, but he's not a chance creator. So how do chances come about? And that is why they were not really creating chances. If you look at the goal in Bomo scored, they came from nowhere. It was just like an individual brilliance moment, same as Maguire's goal. Like, it wasn't a chance. Like, I hope you get what I'm saying. So you're giving the role of chance creation to someone who is more of a goal scorer than a chance creator. How will you get your chances? Because you are playing your chance creator as a number 8, and he is in deep helping Casemiro and Ugarte. So how the chances come about? And the right AM is typically your normal winger, so playing in Belmo or Ahmad there kind of makes sense, because that is how they are. He's kind of an inside forward, kind of a winger. So yeah, that place they are sorted out there. But then playing Cunha as the number 10 who's supposed to be creating chances is where I feel like he made a mistake, and where I feel like there's a problem at. And I was always wondering, why are you buying Cunha and Sesko? Because I felt like, okay, maybe he wants Cunha to play there since they got Cunha first. But then Cunha is not so physical to play as a number 9. So I was always wondering how they were going to do it. Is he going to change formations or something? But seeing as he's not, that's what got me thinking that, okay, this guy doesn't really know what he's doing. Or maybe right now he just wants goals. Cunha gives you goals, or at least his Wolves time he was scoring goals. Sesko will give you goals, and Belmo will also give you goals. So maybe that's what he wants. But then playing Bruno Fernandes out of position, and I don't know where he's expecting his chances to come from. Because Patrick Dorgu, I haven't really watched much of him, so I don't know how good he is with crosses. But I don't think he's so good with crosses, Maybe Dalu might be better with crosses than Dorgu. I'm not really sure about that. But then playing Dalu over there, Dalu is not so good attacking wise. It makes more sense to play Ahmad as the right wing back. But then Ahmad might also suffer tracking back, defensively. So it just exposes the team to so many weaknesses. As I said, playing a 2-man midfield is very dangerous, because it exposes your team. And sometimes the middle center back tends to also move in and help the team, like the midfield. But then that also exposes your back line. So his formation is a little bit tricky, and he needs the right people to play the game. He needs the right players. So earlier on in the season, we were all thinking that I mean, last season, that is, we're all thinking that they're going to, like, there's going to be a massive clear out, like people are going to be gone and things. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen, because it looks like they're struggling to let people go. Those people who are letting go are people who we already know they are going to go. Garnacho, we got here we go today, so he is gone. Rashford, Sancho, like we know those people are gone. Anthony, we know they are gone. They won't play again. But then the others that we feel like, okay, these guys need to be moved on. They are still there, and we are wondering why is it so hard to get people to buy those players? You know, is it that difficult? Højlund looks like he's going because it looks like Napoli really wants him, and they might be able to strike a deal. But the others, it's proving a bit difficult to let them go, and that's also worrying him. So yeah, they need new recruitment. They need to spend money. If he wants to stick to his formation, he needs to spend more money. He needs, and number 8, he needs to push Bruno Fernandes up to actually help a chance creation. He also needs to, get a ball winner who is actually competent. Because Casemiro, even though he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he can't run so much again. He's old. It's not his fault. That's how life is. So they need an actual ball winner who can actually win the ball. So I was even thinking maybe they might go for Paulinho because he's a ball winner. He's good with tackles and all, but Tottenham got him, and we've seen how that worked out in the City game. So they need new players. They need a wing back, an actual wing back who can also attack. They need to spend money. But it looks like the club doesn't want to spend money, and it's forcing him to work with what he has. And it's not going to work if he's going to continue playing Cunha over there. It's not going to work. He needs to play Bruno Fernandes there. People have been saying it, and I agree with that one. He needs to play Bruno Fernandes as the left EM. It's as simple as that. So that is my opinion on what is going on. I wouldn't fully blame him because he's working with what he has. His reluctance to be flexible with the formation is what is causing everything. But one more thing, I've been seeing people say that 3 at the back is not good. They need a 4 at the back manager. 3 at the back is then. Look, 3 at the back is not a problem. If you have the right players to play that formation, you don't have a problem. Chelsea won the Champions League with the 3 at the back. Inter Milan got to the Champions League finals twice, playing 3 at the back. They've been dominating the Serie A, playing 3 at the back. Atletico Madrid won the La Liga, playing 3 at the back. It's not a problem. Look, the formation is not a problem. Just get the right people to play how the coach wants to play. Because if you look at it, the coach is not even a defensive coach. He wants to attack. Get him the kind of players he needs to play that kind of football, and I feel like things will be different. If you could look at Arsenal, Arsenal plays 4 at the back. What have they won? I mean, they've spent so much money. What do they have to show for it? They are attacking. They score so many goals. What do they have to show for it? Playing 4 at the back doesn't mean you are going to attack and all. People play 4 at the back and are still defensive. So I don't know why people have the notion that 3 at the back means you are going to defend and all. That's not how it is. You can play 3 at the back and still be an still play open football and play beautiful football. 4 at the back doesn't mean you are going to play beautiful football or anything. Real Madrid plays 4 at the back. They play beautiful football. They are not known as a team to play beautiful football, So that notion United fans have is just really weird for me. I don't know where that came from. But I feel like it's something that needs to be, to be abolished or something. But let me know what you think in the comments. Have I influenced your decision? Do you still think Amorim should be sacked? I feel like they should give him more time. He has already gotten the players he wants. What's the point in sacking him now? Because the next coach who come wants to play for at the back, and he will need different players. So just give him a chance. If maybe by December things are still terrible, then you can let him go. That's what I think. I'll see you in the next one.